Hey everyone, it is Miss Marnick with your practice test video for comparing, ordering, and rounding. We are in the 4th grade standard numbers and operations in base 10. These are standards 1 through 3, and those standards are right there at the top so you know what we are focusing on. This video is so you can check your work, see how you did, and get ready to study for your test tomorrow. So here we go. First question, number 1, write the place value names. Think of your song and just sing it in your head. I already wrote it out here for you. So you should have ones, tens, hundreds, comma, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, comma, millions. And you can see on millions here, I was in the middle of writing it and Mr. Hutch called my phone and it surprised me, so I jumped, and that's why it's a little messy there, but you get the idea. Millions, and you know it goes on to 10 millions, 100 millions, billions, but this is all you needed to write for this one and for your test tomorrow. So those are your place value names, but then we need to take it to the right of the decimal point. We've got tenths, hundredths. Make sure when you're writing to the right of the decimal point that it ends in THS for both of those words. If you just put tens, then you're talking about the tens place, but the tens place is to the left of the decimal point. Tenths and hundredths are to the right. Okay, let's take a look at the next part here. For the next two problems, we're going to use this number. Read it with me. 226,434. Number 2. How many times more is the value of the 2 in the 100,000s place than the 2 in the 10,000s place? This is going to seem kind of confusing at first, but just break it down like we would with any other word problem. We see how many times more. Every time we see that, we know to put question mark X for how many times. I see the word value. I know value is how much it's worth. Cha-ching! And the first value I need to know is the 2 in the 100,000s place. So I'm going to look up at my number here. Here's my 100,000s place, and there's a 2 in it. I know the value of that would be 200,000. So I'm going to write it here so I know this number goes with these words. Then it says the 2 in the 10,000s place. If I look at the 10,000s place right here, I know the value of that would be 20,000. So I'll write that right here. 20,000. And now all of a sudden I have enough information to write an equation. I have how many times, which I know always comes first, so I'm going to draw my arrow. How many times blank equals blank. Then I have the numbers 20,000 and 200,000. It makes sense that 200,000 would be at the end. I'm going to label this my 100,000s, HTH, place. If my 100,000s place is at the end, then my 100,000s place is also at the beginning. So I'll label that 100,000s. I'm doing 100,000s versing, I'm comparing the 10,000s. So I'll write TH here for 10,000s. And my number in the 10,000s, the value is 20,000. So I'll put that right here, 20,000. Now I have a missing multiplication problem. Something times 20,000 equals 200,000. To solve that, I can do the inverse operation of division and set up my equation. 200,000 divided by 20,000. And when I do that, I get an answer of 10. Now my question was asking how many times more, so my answer is going to be 10 times more. Because we know when two digits are the same and they're in the place values right next to each other, the one in the bigger place is 10 times more. So I know that makes sense. Let's try it with number 3. Same thing, look at it like a UPS check problem. I see how many times more, I know that it means question mark X, or how many times, is the value, how much it's worth, cha-ching, the 4 in the hundreds place. So this time I'm looking at this number here, the 4 in the hundreds place. That value would be 400. And I'm comparing it to the 4 in the ones place. So that's my 4 right here. The value of that is 1. So this time, I'm comparing the 4 and a 4 that aren't right next to each other. The tens place is in between them. So that's going to change my answer. I shouldn't expect my answer to be 10 times more. It's going to be something different. But I have to show my work to prove it. So I know how many times always goes first. So question mark x blank equals blank. My bigger number is, I'm comparing 400 and 4. 400 is bigger. That is in my hundreds place, so I'll label my end hundreds place here. It makes sense for the bigger number to go at the end. If hundreds is at the end, hundreds is at the middle, and it's versing or comparing my ones place, which is 4. So now I have how many times 4 equals 400, missing multiplication. To solve that, I can do the inverse operation of division, 400 divided by 4. When I do that, I get 100. The question's asking how many times more, so my answer is 100 times more. Since they're not right next to each other, it's not just 10 times more. I have to add another 0 for this place in the middle, and it's 100 times more. These problems on your test are going to be worth 2 points. 1 point for setting up the correct equation and solving it, and 1 point for actually getting the right answer. So make sure you show all of that work tomorrow on your test. Okie dokie, let's look at some number forms now. Number 4 says write this number in standard form. Standard form is the normal way to write numbers. Duh. So I'm going to look at my number here. It's in word form. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find all of my comma words. I know my comma words, thinking back to my song, are going to be thousands, millions, billions, and then there's the comma word that doesn't have an actual word, the ones that we just call units, remember? So I can't forget about that. That's going to be at the end. But right away I see million is right there, is a comma word, so I'm going to give it 3 spots and a comma. Then I have 300. A lot of kids think 100 is a comma word, but it's not, so don't box it in. 2,000, which is a comma word. Give that one 3 spots too, comma. And then 16, we don't have a comma word after that, but remember, that's our ones period, and we need 3 digits for that. So now that I have it set up, I'm going to go ahead and fill my numbers and the digits. 14 million, my 1 would go in my 10 millions place. My 4 would go in my millions place. 302,000, 3 in the 100,000s place, 0 in the 10,000s place, and 2 in the thousands place to get 302,000. Then 16, my 1 goes in my tens place, my 6 goes in my ones place. Then I have to fill any zeros in that are in between numbers. So I can see I have a 2 here, a blank, and a 1. I need to fill in a 0 there, my blank space. And I do have a blank space here, but it's not in the middle of 2 numbers. So I can leave that go because it's to the left. So now I'm just going to put in write my number on the line. So 1, 4, comma, 302, comma, 0, 1, 6. Now I'm going to check that if I read this word, it matches, if I read this number, it matches with the actual word. So I would say 14 million, 302,000, 16. Since I checked it and it's good, I can move on to number 5. Number 5 says write this number, so here's what I'm focusing on. First in word form. Word form is a way to write numbers using words. So when I'm doing it in word form, I'm actually going to write it off to the side so it's a little bit bigger. 6, 0, 1, 4, 5, 0, 9. I'm going to box in my commas. Just like above, I boxed in my comma words. I'm going to have to change these commas into comma words and underline my periods. So my thousands period, my millions period, my thousands period, and then my ones period right here. So thousands, millions, ones. And I need to write this in word form. we know that word form is a way to write numbers using words. So I'm just going to start with my first number, 6 million, because my million comes from my comma there, and then I know I need an actual comma, zoop. Then 14, this is my comma word for 1,000, so I'll write 14,000. Zoop, I need an actual comma after a comma word. And then finally 509, 509. There we go, and I can check my number, 6 million, 14,000, 14,000, 509, 509, and know I'm good. Now I'm going to try an expanded form. Expanded form is a way to write numbers by blowing them up with zeros and plus signs. Bang! So in expanded form, I have to write the value of each digit. So my 6 is in my millions place. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 million. Then I put a plus sign. Then I have a 0 next. I'm going to skip over the 0 and go to my 1. And then I would put 10,000 plus my 4 in my thousands place is worth 4,000 plus my 5 in my hundreds place has a value of 500. Then I have a 0, so I skip over that, go to my ones place. My 9 is just worth 9. And then I have my number in expanded form. All right, number 6. Write this number in standard form. Once again, we know standard form is the normal way to write numbers. Duh. What I need to do if I have a number in expanded form like this to put it into standard form is I find my biggest number, which is right here, 3 million, and I draw lines and spaces for every digit that's in 3 million. So 3, 6, 7 digits. So I'm going to write them on my line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now I look at the important digit in each number. Here is my 3. It's in my millions place. So I'm going to put it right there in my millions place and cross it out so I know I'm done with that. Next I have 200,000. The 2's in my hundred thousands place. So I put it in my hundred thousands place. Then 80,000. The 8 is going to go in my 10,000s place. And then my 6 goes all the way down here in my ones place. But I've got some blank spaces. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to have to write some zeros. 1, 2, 3. And then I have 3,280,006. All right, let's flip to the back. On the back, we have 7, 8, and 9. We are comparing numbers. So the directions say, use less than or greater than to compare the following numbers. I have the number 29,716. I'm comparing it to 297,176. I automatically can see that this number has 6 digits. It goes up to the hundred thousands place. And this number has 5 digits. It goes to the 10,000s place. So my alligator mouth is going to face the number that's more, which is my 297,176. That is the less than symbol. So I'm going to put that right there. Now let's do number 8. We're going to compare these numbers. I can see 3, 6, 7 digits and 3, 6, 7 digits. So I just have to go digit by digit to find one that's different. So I always start in my biggest place. My biggest place is the millions place, comparing 2 and 1. Oh, they're different right away, so that was easy. Circle those numbers. 2 is bigger than 1. So this time I put my greater than symbol to say 2,386,277 is greater than 1,385,277. All right, number 9 is going to have us do a little bit of writing. Which digits or place value did you use to compare the numbers in problem? Oh no, it says problem 7. I'll have to fix that. It's problem 8. Think which place value was different. So I circled my difference right away. It was the 2 and the 1 and the millions place. So I'm just going to write on the line the 2 and 1 in the millions place. All right, let's put some numbers in order. Number 10, write these numbers in orders from least to greatest. So starting with the smallest one on this side, and then the biggest one will be my last spot on the right. So first, I want to check and see if they all have the same number of digits. So 6 digits, 6 digits, 6 digits, 6 digits. So that means I need to start comparing in the biggest place. My biggest place is the 100,000s place for every number. 2, 2, 2, 2. All 2's all the same, so it doesn't help. I need to move to my next biggest place, my 10,000s place. 3, 3, same. Ooh, but 4 and 4. So I'm going least to greatest, so I want the smaller one. So I'm going to want these two, the 3. I'm going to have to figure out which one is smaller by going to the next biggest place. 8 and 7, we have something different. 8 and 7. 8 is bigger. The smallest one is going to go first because I'm going least to greatest. So I'll write a number 1 there. Then this one has to be next. Now I can go back to these numbers because I'm looking at 4 and 4. They had the same in the first 2 places. So now I'll check the thousands place. I have 9 and 3. The 3 is smaller than my 9, so this is going to be my third number. And then this number will come last. So now I have to write the numbers on a line in order. Number 1, the smallest number, 237,428. I'm going to cross it out so I knew that I wrote it. Number 2, 238,907. Cross it out. Number 3, 243,999. Cross it out. And number 4, the biggest or greatest number, 249,001. Just do a quick check when you're done to make sure they're going from least to greatest. So 237, that would be smaller than 238. 238 is smaller than 243. And 243 is smaller than 249. So I know I am in order there. Let's look at number 11. It says, what is the place value for the underlined digit? Place value is the name of the place. Tens place, ones place. So I need to be writing this in words. My 4 is right here. It is in my 10,000s. And don't forget to write the word place. Now looking at 12, what is the value of the underlined digit? Value is how much it's worth. Cha-ching! So it's the same digit as the last time, but this time I want the value. So I'm going to write it in numbers. The value is 40,000. Your secret word is onion. O-N-I-O-N. Okay, let's do some rounding. Number 13, round this number to the nearest 10,000s place. So I'm going to find the 10,000s place, which is right here, and underline it. Circle the bossy neighbor to the right. It is a 6. I know 5 or above. Give the underline a shove. So that 3 has to shove up to a 4. So I write 4. Then the 3 changes to a 4. Then everything to the right changes to a 0. So 0, comma, 0, 0, 0. And it rounds to 440,000. Number 14, round this number to the nearest hundreds place. So I have 2,424,637. The hundreds place, I'm going to underline right here, the 6. Circle the 3, the bossy neighbor to the right. Say the phrase, 4 or below, let the underline go. So I'm going to leave this 6 the same. Everything to the left stays the same. So 2, comma, 4, 2, 4, comma. My 6 stays the same. Everything to the right changes to 0, 0, 0. So it rounds to 2,424,600. Number 15, round this number to the nearest whole number. That means it wants us to round and get rid of the decimal places and just have a whole number. So I'm going to underline my ones place, circle the bossy neighbor to the right in the tenths place. The 2 is 4 or below, so I let the underline go. Everything to the left stays, so 5, 8. Now for a decimal, I don't have to change the decimal to zeros. I could just put 58 and that would be correct. Or if I wanted to change everything to zeros, I could put 58.00. Either one would be correct. Last one, number 16. Round this number to the nearest tenths place. So be careful, it's the tenths place, not the tens place. The tenths place is to the right of the decimal point right here, the 2. Circle the 9 to the right, the bossy neighbor. It is 5 or above, so that means I give the underline, my 2, a shove. The left side stays the same, so 3, 7, point. My 2 bumps up to a 3, and then I can just leave it like that because I don't need anything to the right if it's going to be a 0. Or I can put 37.30, and either of those would be correct. Want to earn some bonus money with the secret word? Have you ever chopped onions before? They make you cry. To draw a sad face, crying tears because he has to chop onions and making him cry. Poor little dude. Good luck on your test tomorrow. See you then.